Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you to all of our witnesses for being here today. You know, it's always great to get out of the D.C. Beltway and into the diverse communities across our great nation to hear directly from Americans who are helped or harmed by the policies that we write or vote on. While today's hearing focuses on the success of good policy, namely opportunity zones that were implemented in the Republicans' Tax Cuts and Jobs Act in 2017, I want to take some time to highlight a few other areas ripe for strong policy action from this committee that can help communities in the Rust Belt and beyond. We know that nearly all Americans in every tax bracket saw tax relief thanks to the TCJA. The legislation's business provisions boosted the overall economy. However, many of these provisions have begun to expire, and the rest are set to do so in 2025. In fact, President Biden has made it clear that he will let these tax cuts expire, even though doing so means violating his pledge to not raise taxes on anyone making less than $400,000. This means that in my home district, hardworking Kansans can expect to pay $1,900 more in taxes in 2026. And right here in Erie, Pennsylvania, one estimate is that an average of over $1,700 will be paid in additional taxes, while Americans across the country will face similar or even greater tax increases. This would be on top of the historic levels of inflation that are currently crushing Americans and making it difficult to meet everyday needs. According to the CBI data released last week, inflation is up 19.9% since President Biden took office in 2021. Mr. Spohr, as a founder and a new business owner and as a father, can you tell us how inflation is impacting you both personally and professionally, and how would additional tax hikes on top of this impact you and your company?
I mean, just to be brief, you know, any time I don't get to make the decisions with the capital that I'm earning, you know, I want to be able to make that decision. So it obviously, it gets harder, right? It gets harder. You already see that I work a lot of hours. I'm not afraid to work a lot of hours. Couldn't imagine adding more to that, so.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it's not just taxes that individuals will feel the pain if TCJA expires. Without action from the committee and Congress to extend and strengthen the business provisions in TCJA, businesses will be set back, hurting the economy, job creation, and workers. We've already seen evidence of this through the expiration of the immediate research and development expensing provision. Since amortization took effect, the growth rate of research and development has slowed dramatically from a 6.6% on average over the previous 5 years to less than 0.5% over the last 12 months. As companies spend far less on research and development, the sector is down by more than 14,000 jobs. 3/4 of research and development spending is on wages and salaries, making R&D amortization primarily a jobs issue. Mr. Treadway, as a businessman in the manufacturing space, can you tell us how the expiration of the provisions has impacted Erie molding packaging?
Yeah, I mean, for Erie molded, I mean, again, the first year it sort of caught us off guard, so immediately we got a taxable we weren't expecting. Now, we can, of course, depreciate those expenses down the road later, but I need to make those decisions now and have that money to reinvest in my company and my people now. So initially, it was money out of our pocket that we were not expecting. Looking to the future, we'll still do some R&D, but we're going to look at it differently. It's different math now. You know, now, and like I said, for us, it's 90%. Sounds like industry average is 75% goes to wages. I know that the more I put into R&D, the more I'm setting myself up for a higher tax bill every year. And so it's going to change the math for us. So yeah, it's a big problem.
Yeah, which makes it really damaging for your cash flow, as you highlighted earlier, in terms of having to pay out of your pocket this year for the research and development, and then not being able to write that off and on taxes to recoup that expenditure.
Yeah, for small businesses like ours, cash flow is everything. So yeah, it definitely changes the arithmetic for us.
Well, thank you. And this committee knows how important immediate R&D expensing is, which is why in January we passed the Tax Relief for American Families and Workers Act that included immediate R&D expensing. I'm still hopeful that my colleagues in the Senate will take up this legislation, and in the meantime, we'll keep pushing ahead to ensure the provisions are restored and strengthened in 2025 and beyond. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I yield back the balance of my time.